Welcome back to an episode of the Wrestling Aroundup, where we go through the biggest stories in this week's world of wrestling. As it's a new show, joining me is a world famous, world-class wrestling journalist in the form of Aaron Franklin. Aaron, how are we doing?
I'm very well, Terry. How are you?
Oh, Charlie, at this point, you're world famous as well, though.
Yeah, probably.
World famous for being world class. Right, there, saved it. Right. I got thrown off because Terry's not here.
I thought he was the world famous fucking hell world class wrestling journalist. That's what you just said.
Yeah, but it's like 2 weeks ago I introduced you as Jesus Christ.
It's not far off.
Many people do.
Yeah. Aaron, how are we doing?
Yeah, very well.
Good.
Big news this week. Big
news, and we will get into it. Stay tuned to the end of the show, because if you haven't seen last Tuesday's Return of Wrestled Out, then please go back and watch it, because it is, I don't know, universe shattering, I guess.
What biggest things happening in the history of wrestling, I'd say.
I think it is the biggest signing of all time.
Without doubt. Or were the two signings? We don't know yet.
Momentously momentous. And joining me as well is the ever-present, world-renowned, wonderful Scoopel.
Yes, here he is.
How are you?
Right. I'm very good, Russ. I'm very good. Right, I've just watched a YouTube video of some Americans trying Greg's for the first time, but not like I thought it was going to be like in a studio setting. What is this? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So don't say it.
Away on it. No, it's newsworthy if anything, right? We'll get on to more in the next show, but I thought he was gonna like one of the studio ones where they're like sitting down like, what is this? Like some sort of sausage roll? No, they actually went in Greg's and it was great. They were just so confused and the bloke was so scared, bless him. It's like, what is this? And then he was just telling his wife what to order. Wonderful, wonderful television. But we'll talk about it more.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in the main show.
Yeah.
There is no Terry Peters today.
He's having his tea.
I know, yeah, he's having his tea again. Funny that, isn't it? Every time we want to record. We record earlier, he's having his tea. We record later, he's having his tea.
There's some football on tonight, so I thought we were watching that, to be honest.
Manu, it's not kicked off yet, though, is it? So
kicks off in 2 minutes.
Yeah, and
he'll be on at 9:45.
His replacement, back for 2 weeks in a row on the new show, is the glorious Bob Roode.
Glorious.
Cheers, Bob. Mixing it up for a change.
Fuck you.
Special request from Aaron. Bob Roode was on the show today, so
yeah.
Well, we got him in. He was listening, as he does. He has to go in the cover.
Stay till the end. Right? We'll do the lesser news first, and we'll build up to it. CM Punk.
Yeah.
CM Punk.
Russ.
The biggest or the hottest free agent at one point a year ago.
Up until last Tuesday.
Now, potentially the most hated man in wrestling. Or getting there, on his way to getting there. If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, basically, he was on, I'm assuming it was Dynamite. He's returned.
Yeah, if it was on Rampage, nobody would have saw it.
He's returned after a significant period of time out through injury. He's returned and allegedly went off script and then just called out Hangman Adam Page. This hasn't gone down well backstage. All sorts have come out now about he's not well liked, he's unprofessional, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just saying. Triple H called this about 8-9 years ago. Just saying.
But this is the thing, isn't it? There's no smoke without fire. And I find it hilarious how AEW is turned into WCW. It's so funny. I find it so funny.
It's just a rapid pace as well, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's absolute dumpster fire.
There are still a lot of people who think, oh, this is just the work and everybody. And what I say to that is, did you learn nothing from Cody Rhodes leaving in February? Like, there were people convinced up until about a minute before he debuted at WrestleMania that whole thing was a work and he was going back to AEW. It happens. It's not the land of milk and honey. It's just it's a wrestling company. Wrestling stuff happens in it.
It's a wrestling company. There's a lot of big egos.
And there's not enough people running the company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You haven't got like heads of departments running certain departments to then oversee them departments and make sure everything's running smoothly. It's all being run by one guy.
One guy who is, yes, he's a wrestling fan, but he's a wrestling promoting novice.
Mm-hmm.
He's been promoting, 3 years now?
Mm-hmm. And I think that was fine when he first started, other than Chris Jericho, who you would let do what he wants anyway, especially at that time. Everyone else was kind of new to national TV. New to, you know what I mean? Like, there was no like big prima donnas in there. He probably did go fine. Everyone was like, oh, we're in this cool new thing. But he's not signing people like that now. He's signing all these people who are used to the political machine of the WWE and are expecting it the same way. And, you know, Punk is a bit of a prima donna, isn't he, to be honest? Like, yeah. I don't know, because it's weird with Punk. Like, I think his return's been pretty good for the most part. Like, you know, and he became world champion. Obviously, he got injured in that. But I think in some ways it must be frustrating for him, because even like, so it was weird. Dave Meltzer was the guy who pointed all this out, which is really weird. He's turning out. The AW fans hate Dave Meltzer this week, by the way. Right, okay. And he just said, like, look, well, a year ago, you know, they were pushing Raw. They were probably like, what, 200,000 people below him, beating him in the demo. And now, like a year later, Raw's getting twice as many viewers. They're nowhere near, and it only seems to be going one way. Raw and SmackDown are going up. AW is going down, or at least staying the same. And I think it's just they don't know what to do. They're all a bit pissed off and angsty, I think. You know what I mean? Like, the upward trajectory is kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've plateaued, haven't they?
Well,
yeah.
It's because of Triple H, isn't it? Just saying.
Is it Triple H, or is it mismanagement? Maybe is a bit too harsh. Inexperienced management. He has signed everybody. The roster is so bloated. He has shows that I imagine, again, it's the parallels of WCW is hilarious. He's got Dark and whatever the Dark is. No,
Dark Elevation.
Yeah. He's got them, and he's got Rampage, which is essentially Thunder. I imagine the roster are getting quite annoyed about being on them, but he's got too many people, and that we said this at the start. Somebody has to lose, don't they?
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing is as well. He's going into this cycle of pushing people for about a month and then forget about them. You know,
that's very WWE.
look at CM Punk's debut against Darby Allin. Darby Allin's one of the hottest people in the company. What's he doing now? It's not around. And also, Dave Meltzer with some great points at the weekend. I only listened to like the 20-minute clip on YouTube of his show, but he said what he thinks the turning point was between WWE and AEW was because it happened before Triple H took over. It was actually WrestleMania when people watched that show and thought AEW could just never put this on. Like WWE is in its own league. It's like as good as AEW is, it will just never be able to put on a show of this scale or magnitude, and that was the turning point, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah, well, I think if you compare it to WCW WF, you'd have probably looked back at 1997 WF and thought, "Fucking hell, WF can't put on a show like WCW." So, you know,
is it just too much too soon for AEW?
Just
no, I think it's fine. To be honest, like
I think they've tried growing too quick, haven't they?
Yeah. It lets build the fan base, you're well done on getting the TV deal, and for a while they had very consistent viewership. But I think they tried to go toe to toe straight away.
So, Wrestle Cringe, which is by far and away one of the worst accounts on wrestling Twitter, because it's just
Wrestle Cringe, or aka anything's bad said bad about.
Yeah, at this point, it's just people being mean to AEW, and it's on there. But anyway, you can quote me on that. I hope we end up on the show. That's my new one. So end up on that Twitter. But they tweeted saying it was cringe, but actually it was a lot of good points. Just trying to find it now of some guy who was like, "This is what AEW needs to do." I think the first one was like fire CM Punk or something ridiculous like that. But that one very good. But then after that, he put, "You should hire a great business mindset person just like Nick Khan."
Yeah.
Start taking control over the talents, restrict bloody matches, and stop thinking that WWE is a competitor. And I was like, all those points, other than the fire CM Punk one, which would be stupid, are all very good points. That's what they should do. All of those things.
I mean, in their defense, I'm telling you, I'm defending AEW. They have tried. They've announced. Is it? I can't remember who it is. They've announced talent relations now and stuff, haven't they? They've announced.
I mean, Ross, it's Tony Schiavone going around backstage, going, "You right?" They've got it. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what it is because I don't know who he's working with. But surely people like JR and maybe not Shivani because he's been out of it for a while, hasn't he? Surely he's got advisors though. Or does he?
I think he does.
Does he have the wrong advisors?
He throws them under the bus, doesn't he?
Yeah, Jerry Lynn.
Yeah, but no, I think AEW is doing fine. Like they're obviously number one on TV every Wednesday, are they? It's about the demo, but it's number one as far as advertisers look for it. Rampage isn't getting, it's not going to get cancelled. It's not getting great numbers now compared to its debut, but it's not getting terrible numbers either, I don't think, for a Friday night at 10 p.m. If they just focused on being a solid number two instead of and just dropped all this number one rhetoric, they'd be fine. They're a lot better than TNA. They're a lot bigger than TNA ever was, I think.
I think that the problem is the AEW is a totally different product to WWE. So they're not a competitor because it's a totally different product.
Yeah, it's like, yes, they are wrestling, aren't they? But it's like any TV show. Two action things could be completely different, couldn't they? Do you know what I mean? You don't have the same stuff there. So go back to the start. What next for CM Punk? Where does he go? What does he do? Did they try and salvage it by making it into a work? If it is a work, what is the point?
There's no point in it being a work because at the moment they've got nothing planned. But they've announced Moxley and CM Punk for this Wednesday, and they've got no main event for All Out yet, which is the night after Clash at the Castle. So they've only got one more Dynamite after this.
I saw that, and I immediately thought of Hotshot looking. Why would you waste Moxley and CM Punk on
because apparently
on a Wednesday
they've got something bigger planned.
Who is bigger than that?
I don't. So I've got two theories. One is really out there, and one is kind of more basic. One is that it'll be Hangman Page now because he's not going to match. It makes sense.
It's not bigger though, is it?
It could be now with the shooting, but you need a few more weeks to build it up. I think.
I don't think I'll ever be bigger though.
Two, it's just someone fucking really random like Okada.
Yeah, but I was thinking that. Is it Okada? Would that be bigger? I don't know if it would.
And it would in Tony Khan's mind, but I don't think it would be for the American audiences.
I'll tell you what happened. I'm telling you right now. So Kenny Omega and Young Bucks will win the Trios title. And then Kenny Omega will also win the World title. And he'll be the belt collector again.
The same night. And then you'll get the Elite versus Punk and FTR.
Should definitely we've not seen that before.
Oh, we have, haven't we?
Have we not seen FTR versus the Young Bucks?
Yeah, but this time you'll have
this time not Punk on the side.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're definitely building to that match at some point. It's going to happen.
Well,
I don't know. It seems a little bit shambolic for a company that's lauded for its long-term booking. And it's weird because they've got, both major companies have got big pay-per-views on the same weekend, which I don't think's ever happened before, has it?
No.
WWE been way ahead of just like booking the card out. They've had, I know they've only announced Drew and Reigns about two or 3 weeks ago, but they kind of started hinting at it. Like, was it May when Drew first came out and challenged the challenger? Yeah. Like they've been planning this for a long time. I mean, it's obvious.
You think we're nearly 2 weeks away and we've probably got half the card already, which for WWE is very, very fast. Yeah. Usually it's like the week before, the week leading up to it, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It just seems very unlike AEW, to be honest. So they must have something big planned. It's all out. It's always the big one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I've just thought of. Are AEW panicking because of the recent upturn in WWE? So for genuinely, pretty much all of AEW's run up until, let's say, Vince left, WWE has been heavily criticised. Everybody said it's not as good as it used to be. Yes, they've had the Roman Reigns stuff, but even that, bloody hell, that's Terry Peters. That's why he's not on has been blocked and thwarted. Criticising it. now is the first time you see some of the biggest critics. The one for me sticks out is JD from NY. I don't know why I still go on this page, but he's been very positive about WWE. Alvarez has been positive about WWE. Meltz has been positive about WWE. Are AEW now panicking because this is the first time? Yes, I know they're not in the same level, but AEW have been challenged.
Yeah.
And they're just throwing shit at the wall. They're thinking, oh, Jesus Christ, but we're not the people are expecting the people saying we're not as good now.
Well, all those guys you just mentioned, Tony books for them more than Vince ever did, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't think Vince for 1 second gave two hoots what Meltzer thought. Probably had no idea who JD from NY was. Tony Khan, for better or worse, will be very, very aware of who those people are and what they're saying. So I think, yeah, we'll rattle them a little bit. It shouldn't do because it doesn't really matter. I think I think AEW needs to accept that last year was probably a one-off. They're probably, right, you're a boxing fan, Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm going to use an Anthony Joshua reference here now. They're not good enough at it. No, but they're not good enough to be number one. Do you know Anthony Joshua? He was always like, felt like he was destined to be number one, and he just turns out he wasn't good enough. And I think that's why AEW are at that point now, where they just got to admit, and not obviously public facing. Tony Khan's never going to go on Twitter and go, "I've lost, guys," but just start booking for themselves, looking at their own company, not worrying what WWE are going to do because they're not going to be able to compete. Like they probably had a chance if Vince had stayed around any longer. Like, you know, I was an ardent WWE fan, but can't lie, it's a lot better this past month than it's been for a long time. So it's, you know, they're not going to compete. Just, you know, they're struggling to sell out the Afro Ash Stadium. They only sold 9,000 tickets. They've got 7,000 to go. WWE just sold 90,000 tickets for WrestleMania, earliest I think they've ever released them. They're just on different planes at the moment, and that's fine. Just stop competing. I wouldn't be panic booking because WWE are getting 2 million viewers again because AEW were never going to get that.
Yeah, well,
not especially not on a Wednesday night.
Yeah,
you're not going to get that amount of viewers. You're not.
Yeah, what I want to be panicking about is I think the renewal of the TV rights is coming up, which is probably why they're putting this on. It's a very WCW move.
So, make a TV show rather than the rest and put it.
Yeah.
I guess something else worrying for AEW is we've mentioned him already. Kenny Omega's returned. There was a spike for his return, but it bloody dropped off afterwards. I get, you know, it's a joke thrown at AEW, isn't it? Where all they do is returns or new people. Again, the people sick of it. We've seen it for 2 years now. And I get you have to. How can you not make a big deal out of Kenny Omega return? He's been away for ages, hasn't he? But
I think that's the issue. I don't think this was a big deal.
I've not seen it. I don't know how he returns.
He came back as the Young Bucks partner in his trios tournament. Everyone knew was going to happen, and he obviously won the match because it's the quarterfinal of the trios tournament.
Yeah,
the Tony Khan said he was waiting for Kenny Omega to be back before he started it. So I felt a bit flat for me. I think Kenny wanted to do it that way because he didn't want to be in a big match because he didn't feel like he was physically capable of doing it.
Right. So
that's probably why I felt, because he was like, oh, yeah, I see Kenny. Hi, it's Kenny. He's probably going to win that match. And then just move on.
Yeah, well, you know they're going to win the tournament, don't you? It's obvious.
Or at least get to the final.
Yeah, well.
Adam Cole, like, super kick one.
A schmoz.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, again, worrying if one of your biggest stars comes back and it doesn't really do anything. But right,
they were still number one for Wednesday night overall, aren't they? So it's still a good number. They just need to stop panicking.
Yeah.
Right then, that's enough of AEW for now. WWE news: NXT UK is no more. It is now NXT, or going to become. I think it's 2023 in it. NXT Europe. There's been a whole host of releases. Unfortunately, Flash Morgan Webster's been released, which is an absolute disgrace.
I'm sure we were talking like 2 weeks ago, so we thought he'd gone like a year ago. I don't remember him resigning. I thought he left with his demolition.
Mark Andrews has left. There's been I think there was about 20 people altogether, wasn't there? I don't think much will change between NXT UK and Europe because it was Europe anyhow. The two main champions have been Walter and Dragunov.
Yeah, but it won't just be based in the UK. Will it? It'll be based around Europe. The shows. So they're widening the audience.
I think that's it, really. That's what they do.
That's the only change, isn't it? I hope they make a big deal out of it.
NXT UK take up a Dublin, which is a bit too on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that much will change. We've got a Japanese women's champion in Sasamura.
I think they'll send more low-level NXT USA guys over there. I think it'll be a bit like the NFL Europe in there.
Yeah,
it's there because it'll sell more tickets than it would in the United States.
We saw it lost, didn't we?
Speaking of big returns,
what's the big return?
There he is. Here he is.
Terry Peters has arrived.
Big return, indeed.
Yeah. Terry Peters is back. Terry Peters, we're just talking about NXT Europe.
Okay.
Thoughts on NXT Europe?
RIP NXT UK.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah.
Not yet.
Doesn't surprise me though.
No, and they were going that way anyhow, wasn't they?
I think it's been overlooked for quite a while, and hopefully this gives it a bit of a new breath of life
and Europe's
needs.
Sort of an untapped stream, isn't it?
Let's be honest, it's been pretty much NXT Europe from day one anyway. It's not just been UK talent, has it? So yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
There's a massive German company, isn't it, that are on the network?
Dubexed Up.
Yeah, so
I thought you were going to say that massive German wrestler then.
It's like he's Austrian.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah. And he's on the main roster.
Alex Ray.
Yeah, I think there's
benefits.
A smart move. It's smart because they WWE sell shows in Europe as well.
I can only assume the people that have been released are the ones that don't want to travel. That's purely my opinion and my opinion alone, but it just seems odd when you look at some of the people that have been released.
Yeah, but then there's people who they're not done that much, have they? And if you're gonna sign a load more German wrestlers, a load more Dutch wrestlers, a load more Italian wrestlers,
I think a lot of them could go back. But I think if they're putting it on hold till next year, it just doesn't make financial sense to keep them. But I don't think it makes sense for the wrestlers either. Like apparently they weren't getting paid a lot.
Yeah, go for somewhere else.
Yeah, they weren't getting paid a lot in WWE for being on NXT UK. So
yeah,
they could probably make more money on the Indies.
I can't imagine it's a massive money spinner, but I suppose it's guaranteed money, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah.
But does it then breathe a new life into the British indie scene?
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully a cleaner.
Because let's be honest, it did kill it, did it?
Yeah, honestly.
I don't think NXT.
No, but I mean beforehand, like you look at how many shows went on there over the weekends and stuff. There was a lot, wasn't there? And,
yeah, I think there was two things. Like I think Speaking Out probably was the death knell on it in the end.
Yeah, that was the final nail.
Because did you see? I can't remember what podcast Regal was on, but they were talking about the formation of NXT UK, and he basically said it was just because there was all these shady ass UK promoters like doing really dodgy stuff, like charging people just to train with them to be like, oh, well, I can get into WWE. Apparently, Regal was like, fuck this. And that was one of the reasons they started NXT UK, was because they wanted WWE want to be like the governing body of wrestling almost, and
like FIFA.
Stop all it. Yeah, in their minds.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever work like that.
No.
If anything, AEW probably doing that more because they've got more affiliations on it international.
ICW and Progress, are they all still feeder companies?
They're still on the network.
So there must be a thing there.
I think a lot of them are getting released, but then still going to ICW. Anyway,
well, the silver lining to the releases is that Wrestling Entertainment Series have got plenty of people to go at. So,
well, that's true, though. It is true.
Yeah, there is a big gap in the market now.
It's a big gap on their roster as well.
And obviously, we saw like some big names join the British Indies last weekend. I missed the Bobby. Yeah, it was down south somewhere.
There's Mr. Bobby, there's Grant Hall.
Dave Benson Phillips has been involved, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Lembit Opik, Stuart Return. So there's quite a few people.
Right then, sticking with WWE, another release. He apparently finished on Friday. Jeff Jarrett has left. He wasn't there that long. Was he there a year?
March
this year.
It was March this year. All right, so not even that then.
Less than 6 months.
He's gone. Is this Triple H bringing in his own people?
No,
Or do you think it's not worked?
They've changed the way they want to do the live events.
Jeff Jarrett is starting his own promotion
Again?
with Conrad, is the rumor. Perpetuated by the marvelous Ross Goodell.
Ric Flair coming back then.
Well, apparently, because they've been doing this, they did Ric Flair's last match and they've been contacting other people and said, "Oh, do you have a last match with us?" And apparently,
DDP.
I'd not listened to Jeff Jarrett's podcast, but apparently, because Conrad was so busy with Starcast, Jeff Jarrett started doing a bit more of the show stuff behind the scenes, which, he was working for WWE at the time. So I think maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah. So last match.
Connie.
But he was only there for like 3
Federation.
months, wasn't he?
Yeah.
We're talking AW versus WWE versus last match ever.
Well, they could just do like a Starcast wrestling promotion where they just put these big shows on these big events. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, they could just stop doing it and just have proper retirements again.
He's living Pete, isn't he?
Oh, it's fucking stupid, isn't it?
You don't want these legendary wrestlers to have the one final send off in front of the fans.
No, because you want to remember him being good, not being a fucking decrepit old body in a ring.
Well, yeah, it's like Undertaker said on it on last ride. You don't want to become a parody of yourself.
Exactly.
And you end up becoming a parody. He did, didn't he? Towards the end.
A lot worse has happened to Undertaker, some might say, his legacy.
Yeah, we should never have signed with the Wrestling Federation.
No, I should not.
It's only a skank. It's fine.
Right, then carrying on with WWE. Well, we'll start with who wasn't on SmackDown. Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark pulled from the roster. It was replaced by Toxic Attraction. And the rumor is Nikita Lyons isn't vaccinated. She has quashed these rumors by saying, I don't know if she said
she said it was nothing to do with that.
She said it wasn't to do with that, didn't she?
Yeah.
So she's not really quashed them.
Mm.
Or is it just because Triple H? My timeline's all off in my head. Was this announced before Triple H was involved?
No, it was like the first thing Triple H announced.
As he just thought, maybe he's reassessed and thought, because Toxic Attraction are one of the biggest things in NXT, aren't they?
Yeah.
Is Mandy Rose coming up soon? She's been champion for well over a year, I think. Are they going to bring them up? Or is he just thought, actually, who gives a fuck about Nikita Lyons or Zoe Stark? Maybe they could benefit from longer in NXT. But
I thought when Zoe Stark lost Heatwave, I thought, oh, she's coming up now. This will be a start. Nikita Lyons was always a random partner.
She's not.
Yeah, I mean, she's fairly new. No, yeah, she's fairly new.
She's only been a wrestler a year, hasn't she?
Mandy Rose is just short of a year as champion.
Yes, I mean she's been very, very good. I like Toxic Attraction, and I think that's probably what the women's division needs in a main roster. It's a genuine tag team. But you don't agree, Lo?
Did you see the match on SmackDown?
I haven't seen the match. No,
they need a bit more time in NXT.
Right.
Like, I know we all hate Natalia on this podcast, and for good reasons, because character is just the worst. But
sometimes she wears cat ears.
She absolutely carried that match. She, God bless her. Sonya Deville was in there as well, obviously. Natalia carried that match. All I'm saying.
While we're on the women's tournament, I genuinely got no idea who was going to win.
I think Sasha and Naomi will come back.
But out when?
At the end and go, well, how can you have a final without the champions? We've never lost it.
My idea was better last week when I said they'll come back once they've crowned the victor.
Yeah.
So we never lost them titles. They're our titles.
Then they'll go full AEW and have an interim champion and make it.
But that's after, isn't it? Yes, we'll have a tag team women's ladder match. I'm all for that. But that's after. So right now, who's in the tournament? I don't know who's going to win.
Barely in pals, right?
Yeah.
Well, will it? So. You've got Asuka and Alexa Bliss. You've got Toxic Attraction. You're going to bring them up to lose?
No, Damage Control. Spoiling the story. They are definitely going to win, without a doubt, and they're going to have all the titles.
So, are we saying Damage Control is Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai?
Yeah.
Because
it's pronounced Io Sky because it's all capital letters.
Shouty.
Who's the other team? It's Raquel. Is she Rodriguez now or Gonzalez?
Raquel Smile.
and
She needs to stop
Aaliyah.
smiling.
Aaliyah.
Please stop smiling, Raquel.
They're not going to win. Yeah, Raquel needs to stop smiling.
Just stop smiling.
Who is the one? I feel like I mentioned it before, but when she ran to the ring the other week and she just smiled the entire way down.
It's just
So if you're saying Raquel, do we think Raquel and Aaliyah are going to be Toxic Attraction? Because that seems like a ridiculous move.
I like it.
Yes, because they're the faces and they're pushing Raquel.
Well, this is what I mean. But then Toxic Attraction.
No, because right, so Triple H had Raquel in NXT.
He had Aaliyah as well, didn't he?
She has a big heel. So she just and Aaliyah is like small, tiny, probably not going to do anything. So they lose, and Raquel just beats the fuck out of Aaliyah.
I thought Aaliyah was a heel anyway.
No, she's like happy to be.
Is she now face? No.
She's like Bobby.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No,
so they're going to lose to Toxic. Oh, they're going to lose in the final.
They're going to lose in the final.
But doesn't that make Toxic Attraction look bad?
No, the wrestling does that. Just no, that's really harsh. No, I don't know why they won that match. I don't think they losing on the main roster makes you look bad if you're an NXT.
I don't know why they've put them in if they're not going to win it.
Bolster the roster.
Yeah, because they don't have women.
Yeah.
But they had two women. They had two women who could have lost that match and it would have been fine. But this is a team who you're trying to build.
Yeah, because they're building the exposure. Oh, they got a taste of the main roster, and now they're going back for more.
But they went up to the main roster, clearly weren't good enough, and they've come back down. So why should you care about them now?
You know, that's like Karrion Kross, but long-term booking was in the main event a year later. Vince was right.
I don't know. I don't know who win. Well, you're saying Dakota Kai and Io Sky are going to beat Asuka and Alexa Bliss. Is that not a bit of a waste for both of them?
No, because Alexa Bliss has been on an interview saying she thinks the character's boring at the moment. So she can turn and Asuka. That's what a good tournament is, Ross. Multiple stories coming out of one tournament. Deadly game for the modern age.
It's a deadly game.
Absolutely obsessed with Deadly Game.
Deadly game. It's because it's one of the best 50s ever. That's why.
Staying with WWE, then Shawn Michaels has been promoted. I mean, I think that was pretty obvious, wasn't it?
GX running the joint now.
He's Triple H's mate. Bring back Road Dogg. Get him back
No.
Get him back on SmackDown.
And he's still busy begging Tony Khan for a job.
Yeah,
Isn't he in Impact now?
He's begging everyone for a job.
He's now whinging that people aren't giving him jobs, isn't he?
Yeah, that's more what I meant.
You can join Conrad and Jeff Jarrett. Road Dogg's last match.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
That's it.
The worrying part is that could easily happen.
Yeah, Ted Peters would love it. Brandy Rhodes has apparently returned to WWE. She's on that house show, isn't she, Brandy Rhodes? Is she going to fit into the main roster, or is she a manager?
It was an internal house show, so there was no one.
There's not actually nobody there.
Yeah, it's like they do it in the performance center on a Friday afternoon or something to get people
Is she just give birth?
Like a year ago.
Yeah, as well.
But is she? I mean, I don't know much about her apart from she's Coda's wife. Is she a wrestler? Is she a manager?
She was on AEW. There you go. There's another factoid for you.
Well, I know she was there, but I don't know what she did. She was a manager in AEW.
Yeah, she was a manager.
And occasional wrestler.
She's 13. She's 39 years old.
No, she didn't ask because she got pregnant, so she got replaced by Red Velvet.
In WWE, she was just an on-screen personality, wasn't she? Just interviewer.
She's the ring announcer, Eden Styles.
Yeah.
I don't
come back.
Will she come back to Eden Styles?
I don't know. She's gonna.
Because why would she have a match?
I don't know.
You want to come back as a ring announcer, but yeah, we get in a match first. You got to beat Lillian Garcia. Otherwise,
would you like some more Brandy Rhodes facts?
Yes, I would.
She was on in 2017. She joined the cast of Wags of Atlanta. She's got 21,100 subscribers on her YouTube channel as of January the 11th this year. She's 39 years of age. She went to the University of Michigan and Miami. Married to Cody.
Wikipedia.
Oh yes. Married to Cody Rhodes since 2013. Her cousin is Scorpio Sky.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She was trained by Norman Smiley.
I love Norman Smiley.
She's 5'6".
Still Livy come Aaron's favorite wrestler in the course of these facts.
Her birthday is in June the 23rd. Her middle name is Alexis.
These are no longer facts.
She was a figure skater and a television news anchor.
It's just the info box, isn't it?
You were
That is good.
literally reading.
I thought the first one was just going to be her birthday was in June and just leave it at that. I didn't think you were going to give us the date.
Well, it's still a fact, isn't it?
But I think that Rosh, you've been in person for a Brandy Rods match
Have I?
against Prince Amin.
Yeah. Do you know what needs to be in NXT Europe? Prince Amin.
Absolutely not.
Do you tried to do that hip toss? I thought he was going to die.
Tried to do everything.
I love Prince Amin.
He got dropped out to Brandy Rods.
Yeah, he
She
did.
was over in that. Let me tell you.
She was. I imagine Brandy Rhodes is going to be on. I don't know what it's called. Whatever the Divas reality show is.
Total Divas.
Total Divas, something like that, or maybe like a rival to Miz.
Doesn't she have her own show on? Is it on the YouTube?
Yeah, Wags of Atlanta.
No, I shot up Brandy.
The channel is Brandy Rhodes, which the last video was 3 years ago, and the last episode was SOB episode 13. Give me that nog.
There you go.
I assume she was making eggnog.
Yeah, maybe it's a typo, and that's why she's banned. Bit blue for YouTube. Right then. Speaking of WWE, the Vince stuff rolls on. Apparently, he's just been not only siphoning money to keep people quiet, he's been giving money to Donald Trump. So,
I can't believe this is news. I thought we all knew this.
like news, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but what I mean is, I can't believe it's news that's only just come out. Like, genuinely, I would have.
Well, I think it's because
I would have thought that that we knew that he'd been paid.
Hasn't he personally said previously said it was his personal fund that turns out he's been taking money out of the company?
Yeah, I didn't realize that until this week. But like I say, I assumed that he would have been paid. It just.
No, I think he was paying it himself, but then he wasn't
declaring the expense.
Yeah, he was putting it into the company.
Allegedly.
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 Yeah, so he's actually going to end up paying twice as much.
Allegedly.
I think. So, like, you put in, say he was paying someone 5 million. He took the money out of his, I think. He took the money out of his account, put it in WWE's account, and then paid whatever he needed to do. So, like Donald Trump. But because it wasn't registered as an expense to him when it should have been, he now has to pay it back, I think. So
allegedly.
Pay it twice.
Is it a tax schmoz?
Allegedly.
No, I don't think it's to do with tax.
I don't think we're going to get sued.
We
can just do one allegedly at the end.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I think that's the story. According to the Washington Post, that's what you have to do.
Well, they've been on the money so far, haven't they, the Washington Post?
Hey.
All
about money, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, nice one. Okay. Right, going away from the WWE now, two people who they haven't been talked about, but I think might return. The Good Brothers, their contracts, Impact contracts are up in 2 weeks.
AJ Styles Bullet Club reunion again. Taking on the Bloodline.
We've already seen that, haven't we? But
yeah, but WWE like to rehash everything, don't they? So
yeah.
Probably see it.
And I would have said that was one of Roman Reigns' best feuds before he's become head of the table. When he wasn't very well liked, and everyone booed him when he won that title at WrestleMania. His best feud was with AJ Styles immediately.
2016, right? About that. Yeah.
I think they'd be a good asset to the company because they need to build the tag team division.
I think they'd be. It was one of them where you was a bit annoyed they got released. But Luke Gallows does wear face paint, which would make sense.
Right, so I've got a bit of a different angle on this.
Who was that man in GW that wore face paint? Oh, Kaz Summit or Crash. I can't remember the bloody name.
Nathan Cruz, I think.
Yeah, Nathan Cruz. He used to come out dressed as Ilma Warrior.
It was Robbie X.
Yeah.
No,
what's your controversial statement, Lou?
I could not get too focused on the Good Brothers returning.
No, I think they're particularly boring as well.
All they've done for the last 2 years since they got released is just make dick jokes.
And then when they were there before,
like there's that
old match.
When they were in AEW for that brief period, and there was a skit where I think Kenny Omega or someone got tagged, and they were like, "Where were you guys?" And basically, the joke was that one of them was having a wank, so they couldn't. That's literally all they did. I don't know. It was at the time when it got released. I was like, what the hell? But I don't know if they'd add anything to, Finn Balor's got his group now. Don't know if AJ needs a group.
No, but they are attacking.
I feel like Vince has ruined it. Do you know what I mean? Like he did it too much half-assed that it wouldn't matter now if they can.
You don't care.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, it depends on the because they came in with a bang, didn't they?
Yeah. They're in New Japan till the Wrestle Kingdom, I think.
Which is only January though.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see. Somebody else who may have been released, Tennille Dashwood, formerly known as Emma, has been removed from the Impact roster page.
She's gone.
She's gone.
She's gone officially now.
Yeah, she screenshotted free agent with the eyes emoji next to it on Twitter.
WE inbound for
I was
sure.
going to say she is a Triple H gal.
Yeah, as long as she don't have 30 weeks to go into Emelina and then being bombed off the week after again.
She's a strange one, Emma, because she had some decent matches in NXT, then no one cared about her. Then she put some sunglasses on and gloves, and everyone went mental. And then she went to Emelina and then left.
Well, she went to Emelina, didn't she? And then went back to Emma and had a really good match and then just sort of left after the pay-per-view. It's weird.
Well, she's with Madcap Moss now, so,
I can't remember who the match was against that pay-per-view.
She's Asuka's first main roster match, right?
Was it Asuka? I was going to say it was a good match, that.
Was she in the tag team with Dana Brooke?
Dana Brooks? Yeah, I think so. Dana Brooks seems to have been with everybody.
Feels like the sort of thing that would have happened.
I'm sure they had a match with Asuka at NXT, the NXT pay-per-view that was in the UK. Done that was Balor and Joe in the main event. I'm convinced they had a match there.
Was that? I always thought it was Nia Jax, but you might be right.
It was Nia Jax against Bailey. That was one of the matches.
Or was Dana Brooks with Charlotte?
No, I'm sure
that definitely happened afterwards.
That was the thing, wasn't it?
Because Ric Flair said like Dana Brooke was like a female Ann Anderson, and obviously it was livid.
I thought you meant just because they tend to.
Dana Brooke was far more active.
Right then, I know we haven't covered all the news, but we've been going on long enough. We have the actual main news to get to, the important stuff. We'll start with Tuesday. What a show! The return
Best show in wrestling history.
It's been Wrestle's been gone for a while, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's going on?" As Wrestling Federation got a bit complacent. No, wrestled out back with a bang. Aaron, tell us what happened.
Oh well, what didn't happen? That's what you need to ask yourself. A lot of technical difficulties, which have now been put to bed, so you can rest assured that subsequent streams will be no technical difficulties going on. When we finally got going, we opened up with some tag team action. We had the Peters World Order, the real PWO, the OGs, of Animal and Hawk going up against tag team champions, the Attackers Familia. The Attackers Familia retained, however, after watching the footage back, it seems that Hawk had his hand on the rope. Referee didn't see it.
Oh my god.
Oh, shocking stuff.
Good lord.
Yeah. So rematch inbound.
Peters World Order had a good night as well.
Oh, very good night. We saw the leader of the group in the next match, Terry Peters.
Sporting a classic leather jacket.
I'm right.
Yeah.
Terry Peters wrestling is a bit. The lungs will be involved.
EPW.
Yeah, he looks a lot cooler than he did in the singlet in Wrestling Federation.
I'll just you wait till we get to
Well, he came out, didn't he? And challenged a champion to come out and put the title on the line. Who came out? It was the glorious Bob Roode.
He's here today, and so is Terry Peters. Are they going to have some verbal jousting?
Fuck you, Bob.
No.
Well, in a match that no one expected, your new glorious champion, Terry Peters.
Terry Peters. Is that Terry Peters' first silverware? No, he's been tag team champion in WWF.
Yes.
Guys, do you mind if I insert a bit of a scoop.
It has to be good though.
The podcast chats are out.
Oh God.
We're not back in the top 50 in Malaysia at this point. But we've jumped 97 places in the Great British Wrestling podcast charts. We're now 113th.
Yes.
Closing in
Yes.
on that top 100. This is the highest it's ever been.
We're going to drop because I realised that we promised to. I know it was a draw, wasn't it? We promised to do old men talk about piss. So
it's all good to us. You know, we hadn't. But yeah, so sorry, I've interrupted with that. I know we peaked at 46 at one point, apparently. But anyway, we're back.
Yeah, 97 plus jump. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Aaron, carry on with your summary.
So I suppose the question on everyone's mind is, where does this blood feud go now? It is a blood feud. Bob Roode's not happy, but he's here tonight. We can get a comment from Bob Roode. Bob Roode, what you got to say for yourself? What you got to say about Terry Peters stealing your championship?
I'm not happy with Terry for stealing my championship.
Well, it's rematch. That's all I'm saying. Bob Roode, get rematch clause. Can Terry retain the title?
Peters, what do you have to say in response to Bob Roode's chilling words?
I'll give him a wedgie.
Give him a wedgie.
Make his cornhole bleed.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
What?
Well, anyway.
Blood feud.
Literally.
It's got to be a first blood match
anyway.
now, surely.
Next match on the card. Usually your main event. Being pushed down the card this week because it was a big debut in the main event, which we'll get to. But Mr. Mellon putting his title on the line against Snakeskin Taker.
The most dominant champion in the Wrestling Around universe.
Yeah, and still is.
Classic return.
Retain the title.
He's not good enough for Mr. Mellon. Who will defeat Mr. Mellon? I don't think anybody can.
I thought Snakeskin Taker got buried there. To be honest, that's point.
Put up a fight though. Did put up a fight. Just not good enough. Well then, we're cut to breaking news. Seemed that we'd got some footage from an unknown source of Rest Around. Star Business Horse had to get himself a normal 9 till 5 because he's obviously not been on Rest Around TV recently. He was being quite rude. And he was asking the female in the workplace if they've ever seen a horse penis. So,
what does Mrs. Business Horse think about this? Well, I think the lawyers being instructed.
You know, we're just making the audience aware that he is quite possibly a sex pest.
Who is?
Business Horse.
Right.
No.
Brilliant.
This is outrageous. We always do, you know, our lawyers.
The CCTV speaks for itself.
It was a fake Business Horse. And I can't believe, you know, Business Horse is pretty disgusted that the fans of the Wrestling Federation would doubt Business Horse like this, saying his turned his back. I can't believe that they would doubt a fake, be fooled by a fake Business Horse. Like,
well, where is he? Where is it?
We'll get to the restaurant results soon. Yes.
Yeah. So main event was only a short card, but it only needed to be a short card. Obviously, he had that little segment, and then out comes Terry Peters to wear gloat with his new championship, followed by Bivens. Obviously, Bivens was not happy of the results. Well, then, big music hit. Out came our newest debut, biggest signing in Rest Around history. Scoop L. Out comes Scoop L.
You never saw it.
Shock.
You never saw it coming.
What a debut.
Scoop L sporting his t-shirt, which I loved.
Yeah. T-shirt was just fantastic.
Looking pretty fresh, but a few greys on the side, but you know, it's looking pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Right, we can go exclusively to a live interview with newest wrestled out roster member Scoop L. You obviously had your match and you won the match afterwards. You came out.
I just destroyed them both.
Yeah.
Pinned Terry Peters.
Pinned Terry Peters. You had a great show, Terry. Scoop L, give us some thoughts on your debut. How did you keep it secret for so long?
Well, so that's what I do. But I'm here to drink seltzer and kick ass. And I'm all out seltzer.
Oh, fighting talk.
Yeah.
What have you got to say to Terry Peters? So obviously, he's had a great day. He's won his first title in Wrestled Out. He's just gone out there to celebrate properly with the fans that adore him. And some people might say you've ruined it.
Well, I was going to say, Terry might, get me in a rematch, but I don't think he will because I don't think he'll make me. Actually, he's going to get his head kicked by my associate Bob Roode.
This is not the rivalry I expected. I did not expect a Terry Peters Scoop L rivalry. So, in terms of what are your ambitions in the Wrestled Out?
Just not lose.
Not lose.
Yeah.
Momentously momentous.
Yeah.
Shocked the world.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's made me want to tune in next week. Tuesdays.
T-shirts and t-shirts to be on sale soon.
Yes.
Restaurantshop.com.
Yeah.
It's not a thing yet, but it should be.
It will be. If you own that domain, then just give us it.
Why would anyone own that? Let's check it now, but I'm 99% sure.
I'm sure Terry Peters, if I saw this, bought it, and he's going to hold us for ransom. Millions of pounds to give us the domain of restaurantshop.com.
No, just
Can you confirm or deny that, Peters?
Denied.
It just takes you straight to the Bell Nation YouTube channel.
Denied.
So, final big announcement. Next pay-per-view has been announced. It's going to be called Peters at the Castle. So tune in for Peters at the Castle, where he's going to be putting the Glorious Championship on the line against Bob Roode.
Shocking stuff. Right, that was a momentous Tuesday. Wrestled Out is back. We also, for a surprise on a Wednesday, had the Around Wrestling Federation weekly Wednesday wrestling.
Yeah, they just, and I've got the results right here.
Tell us what happened. What was?
Well,
what was
I don't have the
response?
results right here. I'm just skipping through the.
I've remembered my first painted wrestler, by the way, for NGW. Kaz Crash. That's who I was on about.
The hell's Kaz Crash?
Genuinely never heard of them before in my life.
Did
You'll
we see
recognise
him?
him. Yeah, he had like the face paint that went over his eyes and down his cheeks.
Was he in that shitty match with Robbie X?
Probably. I'll put a picture in the chat and you can see.
I learned that NGW have now got a wrestler called Jack Bandicoot, whose gimmick is basically Crash Bandicoot.
They're at Hull City Hall, aren't they, in September again?
Sure, yeah.
There you go. There's Kaz Crash.
Ross is going. He's got his tickets.
Right, Lou, go through the results.
Oh, right, yeah. So the opening match, Ross, as always, was the Man Celebrity Wrestling Championship.
Yeah.
Which one day might get its own show, which we promised. But do not recognise that fella. It looks like the Substandard Warrior. Who's this fella?
He was in a tag team.
Ah.
Yeah,
So-
I do recognise him.
We had Ross, Man Celebrity Wrestling Championship. Obviously, defending was off of Sky Sports News, Mike Wedderburn.
Mm-hmm.
Taking on Michael Barrymore, who's looking to make a splash. Then we had Jasper Carrot and Brian Blessed. And Brian Blessed won. Can you believe it?
Brian Blessed is the champion.
Can Bob Roode do a Brian Blessed impression?
No. But we kind of announced that the next pay-per-view, Brian Blessed will be defending his Man Celebrity Wrestling Championship against what some might will say is not a B-level celebrity. Because we just found out, we thought it died, but it hasn't. It'll be facing one-on-one with Gordon Ramsay. Because Gordon's alive. So that's happening.
You're
There
real
you
pleased with that as well.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
So pleased with that.
Yeah. And then let's just skip through. Oh, and then we had Rand came out. Obviously, he was talking about the benefits of grilling.
Rand,
Yeah, Rand. Yeah.
as in like a randy man.
No, it's in Rand.
It's in Rand.
It's in Wrestling and Wrestling Federation.
Is it Rand who
Superstar.
just wants to grill?
Rand. It's just an American dad wants to go out and grill.
Rand and Nance.
Yeah. Nance hasn't returned yet because she's still cleaning up after the 4th of July cookout that obviously Rand took 3 months off to prepare for. So he was coming out.
Rand broke the internet on his debut.
He grills in his own way, doesn't he? Just a regular, Midwestern American father wants to do the best for his kids and grill. But who should he be challenged by? None other. And the king of Flavor Town himself, Guy Fieri. Guy Fieri is in the Wrestling Federation. Guy Fieri, what a vicious bastard! His moveset is almost exclusively knees and elbows. Ran at the end of the match somehow covered in barbecue sauce. And then we've got so Guy Fieri beat Rand on his debut. What's next? I'll tell you what's next. The next pay-per-view, which has changed its name. It's now Clash at the Andrew Castle.
It's not Castle Banter anymore.
No, it's Clash at the Andrew Castle. And Rand and Guy Fieri are going 1-on-1 in a good old-fashioned USA backyard match. No one knows what that is, except for Rand.
Can Rand pick up the win?
Bit of a cookout there. And then we had a tag team match. So we had Drumstick 2.0 fresh up his victory at Wrestle Slam. Tagging for some bizarre reason with Adam Owens.
You can't see out there, can it?
Taking on Drumstick OG and a returning Business Pig.
Oh.
But they lost. So Adam Owens and Drumstick 2.0 won. So for some reason, even though this happened, Drumstick OG does have a rematch, even though he got sadly beat twice. Does have a rematch in a chicken coop from hell match at the next pay-per-view, Clash at the Andrew Castle. And also Business Pig, who's returned, obviously, the months out with absolutely no fanfare whatsoever.
And lost.
And then lost. He's gone 1-on-1 with Adam Owens.
Can Adam Owens' nickname be the Dangerous Adam Owens, please?
The Dangerous Adam Owens, the Madman. But that was the match that happened. And then what did we see after that? And then we got a vignette that was it's pretty mysterious. Don't really know what's going on. There was a crow, some black and white, and then a mysterious figure in the background that no one could properly work out who it was, but obviously hinting at a return for someone. So Doomsday is coming. Some people say that it was Business House, but there's rumours that he's turned his back on the fans.
Business House is too busy being unprofessional.
At a time when the Pringles World Order is taking over, some people say the Business House has turned his back on the fans. But who are we to say? And then a fake Business House just comes out, just drops straight into my lap, doesn't it? So that storyline's continuing for anyone who's watching our NWO. Listen to our NWO stuff. Fake Business House could have been better timing, really. And then before we got a bit of promo, the Quaker Oats man came out just to tell people, have a good, wholesome breakfast, have some oats, and if you eat breakfast, it's the most important meal of the day. So he's coming out and saying that promo, interrupted by the dastardly Pringles World Order, who just beat up on him for some reason. They were tagging it out, even though it wasn't a match. It was just a beat down, but they were doing it. They were doing it anyway. Expanding, you can't have a 3-on-1 tornado. But so they were there, and so obviously Mr. Pringles, the legend, Hollywood Randy Hogan, and the Big Bad Wolf beat him down quite significantly. Yeah,
shocking.
And then he made an announcement. So the trios tournament is back because it only had like one round and everyone forgot about it. I don't have 2 rounds. Can't remember.
The presidents of the match. I didn't know who was against.
Yeah, there's other guys. Anyway, but the Pringles World Order are in trios tournament next week on the Wrestling Federation Weekly Wednesday Wrestling. But obviously, Big Bad Wolf's got to concentrate on his match at Clash at the Andrew Castle with the BMG, so he's not going to be in it. So they've got a mystery new partner, the 4th guy. Who's the 4th guy going to be? But also the service crew are their opponents, and they've got a 3rd guy. I think you might know him, Ross.
Yes.
No one else will give a fuck.
I
service
can't
crew.
wait for the service crew. I love the
service
fact
crew.
that the service crew are booked purely for me and me only.
Yeah. Succession of inside jokes from at least. I mean, the closest one was at least like 13 years ago, but that's thing that's happening.
Well, Two Diet Cokes is genuinely 20 years old next year.
2004.
It was about 2 years then.
Yeah. And Wilder John's that's not far off, is it? But
No. Wilder John putting feuds aside. Was out with Terry Peters at the weekend watching the boxing?
Yeah.
It was, right?
Former tag team partners, though.
Well, they've been for a lot, haven't they?
Terry
Yeah,
Peters,
they're like the Triple H and Shawn Michaels of the Wrestling Federation, really.
Terry Peters turned on the spooky sky to side with Wilder John.
Best friends, better enemies.
He's got a right shiny dome.
I don't know why, but Wilder John was unnecessarily chokeslammed at that boxing event.
Yeah.
True story.
And Peters didn't stand up for him.
Wilder John also got a taxi home halfway through the 11th round. Fucking clown.
Classic Wilder John. Who's now a legit person. And then, I guess he always was. He's just a different person. Unless it's the same person. I don't know.
Who knows?
Maybe he worked at Centre Parks 15 years ago.
I think we can only assume so.
But then we had the main event, Ross, which was obviously a special attraction sumo match. Got to throw your opponent out of the ring, which turns out doesn't make for a. I mean, Big Show and Akipona told us this already, but does not make for an entertaining pro wrestling match. But anyway, we had Yokozuna came out, made his debut, and then we had Terry Kishi came out, and Terry Kishi was kicking ass for a bit. Yokozuna. It looked like he had him set up in the corner. It looked like we were going to get the Terry Stinkface. And then Yokozuna reversed it. And apparently he can't do a lot against the reversal in the corner. So fucking Yokozuna won in about 2 minutes, which is, it's all part of the plan. If it happens, it's meant to happen, right? That's showbiz, baby. But even though they were two brand new people, never been seen before, it does feel like it builds spiritually to the Terry Taker versus the Undefeateds.
When is this madness going to stop?
Possibly at Clash at the Andrew Castle, we'll find out. But that was it. That was Wrestling and Wrestling Federation.
Two big shows.
But Ross, I've got a full card for the Clash at the Andrew Castle because I'm taking it seriously.
Go for it then. Let's tell us what it is.
Okay, so obviously we've got Brian Blessed versus God's Alive, Gordon Ramsay. And then we've got the Chicken Coop from Hell match for the KSU Championship, Drumstick 2.0, Drumstick OG. Then we've got Business Pig versus Adam Holmes. Then we've got for the Tag Team Championships, the Service Crew back, the original two, obviously the Tag Team Champions, going up against Medium Plastic and Small Wooden versus Hollywood Randy Hogan and the other fella, Mr. Pringles.
Mr. Pringles.
And a triple threat TLC match.
Oh.
Wow. Then we got a good old fashioned yard sale match. Rand versus Guy Fieri for grilling rates. Terry Taker versus the Undefeateds in a last man standing match. Why not?
Outrageous.
And then the Undisputed Championship, the BMG versus the Big Bad Wolf. What a card.
What a card.
But then before that, we've got some new members, haven't we, at the Pringles Well Order? They're coming this Wednesday. It's all happening. All happening.
So you have to check us out on twitch.tv/WrestleRound. Check us out on Tuesdays. Check us out on Wednesdays. You cannot miss any of our shows.
Yeah. Tuesdays will be on around midnight, and then Wednesdays 7:30.
Wednesdays it won't be wrestling. They'll be playing Fall Guys.
No, I've got a new game. We're playing Rumbleverse after Wrestling and Wrestling Federation.
All right, there we go. So twitch.tv/WrestleRound. Subscribe to stay notified. Give us your bits. Very impressed with WrestleOut's new display. Let's say.
Yeah, new arena.
New way of presenting. Yeah,
it's classy, isn't it? So it's purple, which means it's classy.
That is the rule. Right then,
Terry Peters Promotions, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he's getting a lot of sway over there in the WrestleOut.
It's all this money he's been getting paid.
Purple Peters.
Purple Peters.
Drinking
there we
Vimto.
Drinks from his big toe.
Drinking Vimto.
Oh.
How are you?
How does he drink from his big toe?
He's doing it.
He's going to smash that glass, and Peter's going to have to go to hospital. Isn't he?
But we're never
That
on
is-
video. So
That is the most rancid thing I've ever seen.
How's he balancing that? How flying
Yeah,
that to us?
Ooh.
He's got some real.
Look how pleased he is with himself.
He's got some real flat toes. I don't think I could do that.
That is
Like
outrageous. That needs to
Yeah.
go on Twitter
Yeah,
for people to
take a
see.
screenshot.
Right
Can I
then.
do it the other way?
Oh, Christ.
That needs to be a thumbnail.
That's- Watching one guy, one cup. One tell you one cup. No corner.
This is the famous Terry Peters OnlyFans.
Oh, how's he got it up there?
Fucking hell.
Like, Lou, you know what to do.
I need to go do a lot of stretches now.
Right then, that's been the news. Terry Peters, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Aaron, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Scoop Hell, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And Bob Root, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody for listening. And join us on Wednesday, where we have a return of feuds we'd like to see.